Welcome back, movie lovers, to Offstage on Screen, your everything movie reviews and more. Here we go with a film review of Not Without Hope. We're going to jump right in with the official trailer. Here it is, Not Without Hope. Let's see what we got.
Nicholas, it's Mom. I know you went out fishing. This big storm's supposed to hit.
Oh.
Let's go! Come on!
This is now a rescue mission.
We've had some men out on the open water.
4 men in the middle of a giant storm.
It's based on a true story, I think.
What's happening to
Running
him?
out
Hypothermia.
of what? What are they running out of? Not Without Hope. Okay, there it is. Not Without Hope. Let's see what Robert has to say. Hey, Robert.
Hello.
Hello, my friend. Yeah. Whoa, that's a different movie. So
Not
does
Without
this
Hope.
movie, any hope for this movie?
Good question. I always, there's so many movies that are very similar and in
Yes.
Hollywood, and they keep sort of remaking the same thing all over again, with different characters, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Of course, this is based on a true story,
Okay.
which most of these other ones that have been before, not most of them, but some have been also based on a true story. And I always find
Yeah.
that fascinating.
Yeah.
The problem with this kind of film, I think, is that you've got like 4 people for 2 hours drifting on a boat,
Right.
trying to survive. It's difficult to keep the attention for that long because there isn't that much you can do. They cut back to the wives, the girlfriends, trying to locate them,
Right.
or and so on. It's good drama, and it's sad. What happened, but I have a list here that I wrote on my Facebook. You got movies like The Perfect Storm,
Perfect
All
Storm.
Is
Yeah.
Lost with
Yeah,
Robert
All Is
Redford,
Lost.
Open Water, The Shallows, and Adrift. I've seen them all, and this is like the 6th film with this type of scenario. The storm, they've capsized. They don't know where they are.
Clinging to life. Yeah.
Clinging to life, and there seems no hope. I like it. I like this kind of. I like survival movies.
Yeah.
The problem, again, I repeat, I've seen it before. It's not the best one out of the films I've seen, but it's not a bad movie. Difficult to. I think the drama is really good in this. Because it's the relationship. They're all. I think they're. They're not hockey, but they're football players. I saw it a while ago, so they're strong guys. It's not just a local guy or a family out on a fishing trip. Blah blah blah.
Right.
But they are actually really physically
Athletes.
strong.
Right.
So it's a question about will they survive, and if not, then who, does survive, who doesn't, and so on. The drama's there, and the whole thing with the families trying to locate them, and the Coast Guard guy is really good, who is completely determined to save them, to find them and to save them. And it's you have those scenarios where there's a ship really close by, but they didn't see them. Choppers
Oh, the
flying
disappointment.
close, and they didn't see them.
God, we're here. Why can't
Yeah.
you? No. If only they had their flair.
It's a little deeper, this film, because it gives you the scenario of what life is about and how precious life is and how vulnerable we are in certain situations. The feeling of hopelessness is definitely present. So yeah, I don't know what more to say.
Well, I'm looking at some of the reviews here on IMDb. Mediocre survival thriller movie. True story with thriller moments, but tragic lesson in boat safety.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
got
know.
some moral, question. But again, you start to, when this thing happens and you start to wonder, I mean, the reason why it happens is so stupid. I mean, it's just dumb. what a mistake, you know. If
Right.
one character or one person does something, and then they all join in and they just amplify the mistake, and you're
Right.
just sitting
Oh,
there
that's
thinking, "Oh
frustrating.
God, stop doing that because it's going to end really badly." And why are you doing that?
Right.
It's so stupid. There's other just, you know.
Well, two of them are NFL players, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
National Football League, for those that don't know, America. Um, after 43 hours, they were found. So what do they do? What do they eat? They don't eat each other, do they?
They don't eat
Okay.
each other like
Thank
in
God.
live, which I
It's
think
not
is,
one of those.
you know, that's probably a better film.
Listen, I'm going to
generally.
tell you that here's what happens. And you know films as well as I do. So this is one of those movies. This is how these movies get greenlit. They go, hey, you know, there's this story out there, right? And maybe it's a book as well, or it's an interest story. It was in the news or something like that. And somebody goes,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's kind of a lot of drama there. And on top of a lot of drama being on there, we can shoot this in a soundstage where they have a pool of water, right? And we just fly the actors in, and we'll get one or two kind of names, but then we'll get some other low-grade babas, you know. And the budget's going to be $60 million, which is fairly good, not too low, certainly not high budget. And it's a guaranteed turnover of $100 million. So you know you're going to make $40 million on this thing, and somebody goes, yeah, let's greenlight it. You can't lose. I can tell you right now, this thing was shot in Malta.
Okay.
You know,
As far as I know, there are no really famous people. You got
there's
the Coast Guard guy, which is
Coast
I
Guard
think
Josh
Duhamel.
Duhamel, and you got Joe
Yeah,
Beth
which is-
Williams, who she's a bit of a name. But yeah, otherwise, a few guys that are, I'd say, up and coming. Quentin Blair, Terrence Terrell. They probably got some name recognition from TV and different things.
And also, like the poster of it, like it looks amazing. The poster. I mean, I'm sure there's
Yeah,
different
easy
posters.
to
The one I'm.
easy to create that poster, right?
Yeah, and it's so similar to the Perfect Storm.
Perfect
with
Storm,
Mark
yeah.
Wahlberg
The giant
and,
wave and stuff. And that was a
yeah.
true story. And I read that book
Yeah.
because I was actually a commercial fisherman at the time working in Alaska and Southern California. Yeah. And I was working on trawler as well. And these guys were out long lining on a Perfect Storm, as I had done in the Bering Strait in Alaska. So I was very interested in that. And then the movie came out. And it wasn't a bad movie. It was all right. And that just ends with like exactly what you would, well, we know what happened. They just, you know, basically got swallowed up by the sea. So, but I think these survival thriller movies, if you throw enough drama in there, but it boils down to budget and a guaranteed turnover. I mean, I hate to be cynical about, but movies and filmmaking is an industry, cinema is an industry. Its intention is make money, and this is where you go, okay, put a little team together, write it, get a director. Let's see if the director is any. Joe Carnahan.
Yeah, he's pretty used to action stuff. He has done a bunch of action stuff.
Oh, the A-Team.
Yeah.
Smoking Aces. Narc, Cop Shop. Yeah, okay. A lot of gritty dude movies, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Point Blank. Producer. Yeah. Not a ton of stuff. Yeah. So everybody's sort of budgeted, I would say.
Yeah.
For the project.
There was I remember seeing a movie called Adrift. I think it was marketed as Open Water 2, which I kind of liked because it was a bunch of friends going out, on a sailboat. They all jump into the water. One of them is a woman with a baby, and she leaves the baby on the boat. They all, swim around, having a great time. They've had some drinks, blah, blah, blah. It all seems good. But they forget to put the ladder down when they jump, because they jump off the boat from the sides. And, at the back of the boat, you have the ladder where you climb out.
Yeah.
And nobody remembered to put the ladder down. And so they can't get up again. They're trying to, it's too high to the edge. and then you have the baby screaming, blah blah blah, and they
so the baby's alone on the boat, and nobody can get
on the boat, and the mother's in the water, with a friend.
Is this it? What I'm looking at here?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, and
well, they deserve what they got.
Then the sharks come and so on. So,
listen, I like the
yeah.
Well, I like the drift. No, is it Adrift? What's the one where they
forget them in the water?
Yeah,
that's called Open Water.
Open Water. That's Open Water. Yeah.
Yeah. There's only 2 characters.
And that is based on, and that's another low budget.
Yes.
Where you go, oh, okay, man. You know, how hard is it to like you hire a couple actors, you throw them in a tank in the sea, and it's just drama. But
I think that movie was shot on video as well. It wasn't shot on film.
Yeah, exactly.
That video
even more video quality to it. Yeah, real flat. Probably straight to VHS at the time. Very limited release in cinemas. But that movie's based on a lot of true stories. It's not itself a true story, but it had happened many times to people who went to the Bahamas and different places, Caribbean and Egypt and whatever, and got left on the reef.
Yeah.
It was happening quite often. So
you can see the video,
see it there, the video style of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, you just go, okay, low budget, but that movie, I watched that not too long ago, maybe about a year or 2 ago, with my partner, and we liked it. I liked it the first time I'd seen it.
The premise is, I think it was based again on a true well,
that's what I just said.
Yeah. Right.
It's based on true stories. Yeah.
True stories. Yeah.
It happens all the time. So they were kind of taking a multiple true stories of you can imagine these shady little operations that you go. But I like all that stuff where I do like it where it's, there is something to it. It's the equivalent of Mars or, in
the unknown kind of.
Yeah. One man or a group, alive, like you mentioned, you're stuck in a place. Tom Hanks did one. What was that called with the
Castaway?
Volleyball Castaway? Yeah,
Yeah.
And you got to kind of be stuck, but you better be interested in those characters. You better be interested in the drama of it and the performance of it. That's got to pop. If it doesn't, then you're just watching a dude walk around on a desert island for an hour and a half or whatever, floating around in a boat.
I think The Perfect Storm, though, was like a high-budgeted film.
That's George Clooney and Marky Mark and all that. That was a big deal, and that was a best-selling book. So when you have a best-selling book that's already made a ton of money, you don't want to blow that chance to make more money by doing a low budge. You pump the budget up. You've got the money that you can throw at a George Clooney, and you can hype it and make it a little better. Yeah. Okay, so rating.
I gave it a kind of a weakish middle 3 out of the 5. I give it because it's not a bad film.
You're too generous,
but I've seen better.
You're too generous.
Yeah, well.
When are you going to say that a film is just crap? When are you just going to come out and say?
When I see one, I'm sure I have. I did see something, but let's talk about that another time.
All right. Yeah, you've seen some crap, but this is not crap. This is worth watching, especially if you're into these kind of survival thriller movies. It does not let down in that department, you would say, huh?
Maybe not. Yeah, it depends. Like if you have seen a lot of these, you might get disappointed. But if you haven't, then it's a fine, entertaining movie.
Some people are into. Look, there's a ton of movies about submarines, and if you're into submarine drama, hey, there's a few good ones. There's a few okay ones, but if that's your thing, then
you kind of have to rate it for what it is. I mean, I'm rating this, with the other survival on the sea kind of movies.
Exactly, so, in comparison. So, yeah. Okay, so the movie is Not Without Hope. You see what I did there?
I like it.
Thank you. All right, folks, there you have it. Not Without Hope. Check it out if you're into that kind of thing. And thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
All right, friends, we'll see you next time on OFFstage On Screen.